keeping track of the miles you drive so you can write them off on your tab.
I'm sitting here with Mr. Bill Burr, who has joined me for another exciting segment of Talk Your Way Out of It. Okay, Bill.
Okay.
You're at your girlfriend's sister's house. The sister just had a baby. Cute little baby, 3-4 months old, and they're just a blob of squishiness. Very cute. Comes over, hands you the baby. You're sitting in the living room on the armchair, you're holding the baby up. Baby keeps putting his little feet right on your crotch. Wiggling around the soft little feet, pushing, stomping like grapes. You start to feel a natural physiological response to that.
Yet for some reason I don't move the baby. I just let it continue to step on my junk.
In this situation, yes. So now, in Talk Your Way Out of It, everything makes sense. So now you're at, I'm going to call 3/4 mast. The sister comes over.
Sorry, just got $9,000 to fucking fly here. Can I make it? No offense, but there's no Eiffel Tower here. I think that's a little pricey. You're welcome! Thank you for not getting laughing. Thank you for verbally letting me know that you appreciated that. Thank you! She either has no stairs in her house or someone doesn't know how to walk up them. That voice. Did you call? Did you call the plumber? Thank you! She said it. She said it. Not like I was 10 feet away. She said it like I was downstairs in the rec room. She changing a fuse or something. That's not it! No, it's still not working!
Oh, dear.
Well, that's how I heard it. It's offensive, I don't know. Are you going to have a 41? Are you still going to have the bachelor party? Do you really need to, man? I mean, you're 41. You just lived the bachelor party for fucking 20 years, right? You do what? You play PlayStation? No, you don't. Yeah, what? I can't go to titty bars anymore. I just remember those. You can't see him? You're blind? Jeez, well, thank you for fucking bringing it all the way down to I didn't ask you about your eyesight. Jesus Christ, you got problems with your kidneys too? We can just turn this into a benefit? What the fuck is wrong with this guy? He fucking can't see, fucking flip-flopping the words. Who is this poor woman who's marrying you on Saturday? Probably why you stayed single so long. Do you ever like the best man is blind too? Really? Yeah, I get it. Well, first of all, you're not fucking blind. You know what? You're looking around too much. You're not like, first of all, you were blind. What the fuck are you looking back at him for? You need to work on your fake blind shit. Jesus Christ. You really trying to make me look like an asshole there. I couldn't see with the fucking lights. All of a sudden, I see this guy. This blind guy. Oh, but this guy right here with the red shit. I mean, with the clothing. Where are you again? Just direct my head. Oh, there you are. Jesus Christ. Is that what you do? You do shit like that? I appreciate a good scam, man. That's something I'm fucking better than that. You know what I mean?
There's no scam, dude. It's for real, man.
What?
There's no scam.
There's no scam?
You know what? We're all blind, man.
You guys are all fucking blind. You don't look blind. You got the fucking glasses on. I have to believe that. Well, most comics would have just fucking left it after you said I'm blind. I'm sorry. And I literally delved into it to the point that somebody at the table just said, "This is my cane right here." I mean, you want me to bump into some shit? I mean, I don't know what I gotta do here to prove to you .22 caliber, protect the house. No big deal. That's it. Exactly. Really, sir?
So I had I read the Dark Tower series about the gunslinger Roland from Stephen King, and I think it may be the only series of novels that Stephen King wrote, the Dark Tower series. They actually made a movie about it and had Idris Elba play the last gunslinger, and then Marvel did a graphic novel, a series of graphic novels based on Stephen King's The Dark Tower series. And so I had this one for a while, and but I never did like get the rest of them. So me and my girl went out to the flea market today, and what did I find for $2? Another issue of Stephen King's The Dark Tower graphic novel, The Long Road Home. Yeah, I paid like, but this first one is a lot thicker. Well, not a lot thicker, but a little bit thicker. I think I paid like almost $30 for this book, and I got this one for $2. Love going to the flea market. And the artwork in these series is fucking phenomenal. Like, yo, the artwork in this shit is amazing. Yo, Kelly. Good morning. Oh, thank you. Yeah, check me out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Tumblr at Paintings by the Prince. That's my handle for all of my social media sites. So if you go to Facebook and look up Paintings by the Prince, I should pop up. My community Facebook and my Instagram are probably the more popular sites. My Instagram is pretty dope, but that way you can see way more of my art up there like that. But yeah, just picked up another Stephen King graphic novel for the Dark Tower series. This is a good book, yo. The original novels are really good. They're really good. So I'll probably read this later on this evening. It's a comic book, man. You can just read this shit in like an hour. It's just a bunch of pictures, really. So I have one show coming up in September, I think. The Scranton Fringe Festival. I'll be participating in that in September, and then in December, AFA Gallery is going to have a member show, and I will participate in that. I am famous. I got my own TV show. I got nice people complimenting me on my artwork. That's fame. If that's not fame, I don't know what is. You know? But yeah, I got at least 2 more shows ready for this year, and hopefully next year I'll be able to do a solo exhibition with some of my newer projects. Like this piece has never left the house yet. I'm just trying to save that for next year. The 2 pieces I'm working on. This piece right here will be my next project. And this piece I'm currently working on here, I'll try to save these for next year. Because this is going to be a badass. And then this right here is my Complex Ion series. I'll save that for next year. And my Bank series, I'll save that one for next year as well. So hopefully when I have my own exhibit, I'll have maybe 4 or 5 different series, you know, hitting on different topics and concepts. So the show would be very diverse in a way. I'm having tons of fun working on this piece right here. It's coming out really nice. Oh yeah, ain't no stopping the grind. And that's what I tell everybody, man. Perseverance. Just, you know, practice, patience, passion, and persistence are Prince's 4 P's. Are the 4 P's I live by. You need passion and patience. And then if you practice and you're persistent, you ain't got no choice but to be successful. You know what I'm saying? That's the only outcome is success. And the thing what really bugs me is people always try to monetize success or happiness, you know, because I have this expensive item and this luxurious product and that makes me happy. Like, nah, you can't really monetize that shit. If you have a passion for something and you enjoy doing it, you know what I'm saying, that's where the real wealth comes in at. That hate is just motivation. That's all that shit is. Motivate me a little bit more. Because only time somebody hate on you is if you're doing something good, positive, and productive. Nobody don't hate on a bum on the street. Bums don't really do shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't just go up to a bum like, fuck you, bum. Bummy ass, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, you don't hate on bums. They not really doing nothing. They not bothering nobody. But if somebody hating on you, that means obviously you're doing something that affects that person on an emotional level, whether it's jealousy, envy, spite, you know what I'm saying? Which turns into some form of hate. Motivators. That's all y'all do, man. Y'all just fueling my engine. Motivators. Shit. Like Cat Williams say, man, when people don't hate you, they just hate good shit. Don't be mad because I'm riding around in a nice ass car, you riding around in a fucking hoopty with duct tape on your rear mirror, nigga. You not mad at me, you just mad I got good shit and you don't.
I love that. Come on. No, you think I wasn't setting them up? How many times did I say 22 caliber? I said the first time I heard the groans. You just keep sending that fish line out there. There's always one guy who takes the fucking bait. I had a loaded 22 in my hand and I started shooting at you. What would you do? Other than run screaming out of the building. Sticking babies in front of you like Martin Sheen in the Dead Zone, right? You're going to say, this is a 22, relax. I'm loaded. 22, bounce right off you. It's a fucking gun. Alright? It's not the biggest gun, but that's all you fucking need. You're in a house. You know, you're in a fucking high-rise with your glass balcony. That's all you fucking need. Get the fuck out of here. That's all you need. It's a great fucking gun. It's perfect. morons tell them you get these giant guns in your fucking house. They're idiots. They're fucking morons. Black girlfriend's family. Hey, Billy Burnt Pubes. You guys are killing me today. I'm a 25-year-old guy, and I've been with my girlfriend about 8 months. 25-year-old guy, I've been with my girlfriend for about 18 months, sorry. Things are great between us, and she's awesome. We're both single parents of four-year-olds, are both in school, and both work decent jobs. All right, I have to ask you this before we go any further. At night, do you dress up like a black woman? I want to thank everybody who came out in Albuquerque and people who came. I go to games, I'm hanging out with my friends, I'm riding on a bus, it's fucking tremendous. The whole game thing is you got to make your wife feel like you're not having a good time out there or she's going to get upset.
Are you serious?
A lot of the times, yeah.
Oh my god.
No, but now that I have a kid, it's different.
Yo, I know Bill Burr was married to a black chick. Yeah, the one skit he talks about, he was dating a chick from Harlem, and the first time she invited him over to come up to Harlem, and it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. He was like, yo, I was scared as fuck. Yo, Bill Burr is funny as shit.
Me when you were on the road, all those nights that you called me and said you were lonely, and you wished I was here, and you saw something funny, and you're sending me pictures.
A lot of those times.
You're sending me pictures all day and text messages all day, like I miss you. Check this out. Isn't this funny? Blah 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 blah. And like that was all.
A lot of those times.
That was all bullshit.
A lot of the times it's bullshit.
I've been with you almost 15 years. It's all been bullshit.
Not all, but a lot of it is bullshit.
I don't believe you.
That's how you do the road as a guy.
I don't believe you. I will never trust you again if this is true.
Yeah, you gotta say, I'm going to Milwaukee. I'm seeing the Henry Winkler statue.
Who?
I'm going, Fonzie. I'm going to the Harley Davidson Museum.
Wait. They have a statue of him? Why? What do you do?
Because Happy Days was filmed in front of a live audience, studio audience there.
But it's not like it's Rocky. Do they really have a statue of him?
Yeah.
Seems like a waste of a statue.
That's like the funniest thing ever. A waste of a statue. Like the statue could have been something else. Like what are you gonna chop the head off and put fucking Merv Griffin's head on there?
Wait a minute. Is that character that iconic that it deserves its own statue? Hey, that guy.
Hey.
That's why I love Milwaukee. That's why I love Milwaukee. That's why I love Milwaukee. Because it's a city, but it's small town.
Oh my God, Milwaukee, you gotta do better.
Oh, Nia, so mean. That's one of my favorite fucking cities. I love Milwaukee. You know what, Milwaukee? You're okay with me. All right? Nia, this is the deal. Of course I miss you on the road. I love you. I love our daughter. But there's times where I'm really having a good fucking time out there.
Yes, I know.
So you have to text, hey, honey, I'm thinking about you. I'm not thinking about you. I'm watching SEC football. I sometimes forget I'm married when I'm at those games.
Okay, I get it. You don't have to keep, like, you know.
No, because you went so hard the other way. Going like, oh, I missed you. Like I was some fucking pansy.
I wasn't any other pansy.
There you were.
Like you loved me. You missed me. No, I get it.
So it's self-serving.
Obviously, you're having fun on the road. Like, you and, text me pictures of you and Paul Verzi and Joe Bartnick, like, arm's length, skipping into an arena of some sort. Like, so I get it. I understand.
That's our tradition. We always skip in.
Hold your breath.
Yeah, I fucking rent a helicopter. I fly myself to Vegas. It's a good time. It's a good goddamn time. All right, this podcast is way too fucking long. It's an hour and a half long, all right? Okay, can we apologize to the city of Milwaukee? I will, on behalf, before we start a social media controversy here. All right, I'm done with this shit. Anyway, mom's comment on pizza leads to breakup. Hey, Bill, weekly listener, love F is for family and all your stand-up stuff. Keep up the good work. All right, my question
is what experiences have you had with dating while going through a rough time with your professional career?
Phil has never dated anyone besides me. I'm the only woman in his life that matters, and I really don't appreciate you asking about the people that came before me.
I gotta tell you something, I dated a lot of great women. A lot of hotties that were absolute animals in the rack. My girlfriend and I dated for 3 years and recently decided to go on a break. Yeah, all right, you're breaking up. We met in law school, both graduated with good grades, and each passed the bar exam. The big difference between us is that she got a job right after graduation with a high salary, insane benefits, and located in a wealthy suburb. This was largely due to a family connection, which she openly admits. Yeah, good for her. Use your connection. Meanwhile, I hoped to get hired by a firm I worked at during my final year of law school, but was told at the last minute that none of the interns would be hired. You fucking cunts. Oh my God, after you sat there going through that card catalog or whatever the fuck it is you guys do. As a result, I have been living with my parents for the past 3 months, making money teaching tennis lessons while sending resumes and traveling for interviews all over the state. The decision for a break came when my girlfriend was visiting me at my parents' house. She and I went out for pizza and came back with some leftovers. My girlfriend put the pizza in the fridge, but my mom, who has a heavy Russian accent, told her that putting the pizza in the fridge destroys the flavor. I did not even bat an eye at the interaction and went to the couch to watch a hockey game. This guy's living a life. He's living at home, he's teaching tennis, he's watching hockey, he's eating pizza. I love this guy's life. After an evening of my girlfriend moping around, I asked her what was wrong. According to her, I failed to stand up for her and was supposed to tell my mom to not speak to her that way. Well, in defense of her... My girlfriend doesn't put the pizza in the fridge. Yeah, but in defense of her, though, the Russian accent is a little harsh.
They can't help it. Even when they're being like happy and friendly towards each other, they sound like they're screaming at each other. They want to murder each other.
Yeah, that they're going to send you to the fucking gulag.
Don't get mad at me. You know that shit is true. And, like, think about your grandparents and your aunts and your uncles. Like, when you went in the room.
Nobody gets mad at anything on this podcast, Mia. I have curated some of the dumbest people on this planet, and we all just sit in our fucking bubble of stupidity, enjoying all of this. All right, after an evening of my girlfriend moping around, I asked her what was wrong. Okay, according to her, I failed to stand up for her and was supposed to tell my mom to not speak to her that way. I know my mom can sound a little harsh with her accent. Yeah, there you go. And sometimes uses incorrect words. Use your imagination when speaking English. But the two have always had a good relationship, so there was no reason to think she would be upset by the comment. This started an argument about how I've become a mama's boy. Oh, boy.
Oh, she was there.
And that I'm not...
Really pissed about that whole pizza situation.
And that I'm not desperate enough to move out of the house. Ooh. Somebody's going to throw a chair soon. These comments really piss me off because she has personally seen the amount of hard work and long hours I put into my schoolwork, internship, passing the bar exam, and not to mention she got a hookup and sending out resume. Additionally, this came a day after I was informed that I was a close second for a job I was excited about potentially receiving. Yeah, so this is it. Yeah, you're seeing branches. You know land is coming. You're like Christopher Columbus. Nia was commenting on this all-natural ginger ale. I actually like it.
Oh my God. Hey,
But-
really quickly, can I just ask you a quick question? Do you consider ginger ale soda?
I thought you asked me, do I consider ginger ale offensive? An offensive name?
Do you consider ginger ale soda?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. People that follow me on Twitter will know what I'm talking about. I didn't follow you on Twitter because I realized that I don't consider ginger ale soda.
Well, it's because you only drink it when you have, your stomach's not...
That's what everybody was saying to me, but you know I'm obsessed with ginger ale. So I drink it all the time. But people seem to,
Why don't you consider it soda?
Oh no. I have no idea. I consider soda like Coke and orange.
Do you consider an apple a fruit? No. Why not? I don't know.
I know, it's super obvious, but I just never made the connection that it was
It's a soda.
If you said that on a first date, there would be no second date. I'd be like, this is the fucking bimbo. Jesus, I thought I was dumb.
You would think I was a bimbo?
Yeah. That's why I the story of the podcast that girl one time. Hey, you want to go out? You want to go grab some sushi or something? Something like, oh my god, I love sushi. But one time I ate it every day for like a month. And what do you call the white part of your eye? I'm like, the white part of your eye? She goes, it turned all yellow. And I was like, hey.
Bitch had jaundice.
Yes. And I conveniently had another call coming in that I had to take.
Well, but even if you thought I was a bimbo.
I still try to go out with them.
I feel like part of bimbo still means that you are attracted to it. So.
I still try to go out with her though. You know why? She was an underwear model. She modeled me undies. No, she didn't.
So anyway, pizza. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay. Additionally, okay, this came because so the guy's excited. I suspect the real situation is my girlfriend has an image of who her partner is and saw potential in me meeting that image someday. But right now, I'm not living up to that image. It's like she's an NFL GM and I am the potential franchise quarterback who still needs to work on his arm strength before becoming the starter. In her eyes, I'm boozing it up like Johnny Football instead of hitting the gym. I gotta tell you something, dude. I'd let this girl go.
And I have to say something too. Do not fall in love with potential. It's a trap.
No, she's falling over. Let's.
That's what I'm saying. For her to like fall in love with potential is not a good idea. So it's really about. That's the end of the question.
Yeah, he kind of knocked it off to. You know, I gotta be honest with you. I actually thought this guy was gonna do better with the question.
Yeah.
I believed in his potential for this question. Well,
Yeah, they're going nowhere.
yeah.
Like,
I think your girl.
couch.
Oh, I don't say. I think your girlfriend made a point here.
Yeah, so clearly it's not about the pizza. It's about, like, the bigger picture for him and where he's at in her life, and she's not. She's like...
She's a spoiled brat who just got a job gifted to her, so she doesn't understand why.
She's still, like, good at it, though, right? Like, it's not as if she just got it and she sucks at it.
I know, but you know something? He didn't say that he brought that up, because I would have brought that up. Still, I'm sorry, I don't fucking come from the goddamn Waltons. Who's a big lawyer family on TV? Were the Waltons lawyers? Did you ever watch the Waltons?
No, sorry. Claire has
The Waltons was the Cosby Show for white people.
What is the Waltons?
It's just a bunch of fucking rednecks living in an old farmhouse. There's like 90 of them. They all have fucking overalls. What do you have against white people in overalls? Fucking dilapidated buildings. Good night, John Boy.
That show?
Yeah.
Good night, whoever. Good night, so-and-so.
Yeah, good night, Mary Sue. All right, Bob and Joe. Good night, John Boy. John Boy.
Who's John Boy?
John Boy was like the fucking oldest dude on. He was like a man. He was like a young man.
Boy. John Boy. Is his dad John too? And he's John Man?
He's John Man.
He's John Boy.
We're not answering this guy's question.
What is the question?
There is no question, but I think he just wants me to comment on the situation. I have no idea, but I would just say that I would...
Like, bitch, why would you support me when I'm down? How about you? How about your...
If you're one of the 55 million Americans who drive...
Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Now, if the media is so overwhelmingly biased against Mr. Corbyn, why is he having such a good campaign?
Partly because Theresa May's proved completely inept. She's called a snap election. She's
X-Out, what up?
been very effective and all over the place. There's been a large social media presence with Corbyn's campaign, and of course, as the Labour Party started to gain momentum, it has taken it a bit more seriously. But if we just remember, 3-4 weeks ago, that kind of tone of serious opposition wasn't there at all, and it was this repeated nebulous phrase of unelectable, whatever.
But many in the Labour Party thought that as well. If the media is full of Tory stooges, why did the polls now?
Because people have seen the campaign unfold, as I said, and we've seen, on the one hand, the campaign that's quite inept. We've seen a manifesto come out that's been written off as kind of Marxist nonsense, which, of course, anyone who's read Marx and Lenin will know this is not even close to being a Marxist manifesto. It contains many policies, as I alluded to in the film, that are absolutely normal in some of the wealthiest countries in the world. And then they've seen another manifesto come out that's completely uncosted.
He was in an accident, bro? Holy shit. You alright?
So So I don't quite understand why the media is being so biased. As the media has reported a lot of how bad Mrs. May's campaign has.
You know, first thing a black person want to know is, was it your fault? Who was in the wrong? Who was in the right? Holy shit, dude. On the bike, holy fuck, bro. You was padded up? You had your helmet and shit, man? My mom was in an accident a couple years ago. Somebody ran a red light and T-boned her, broke her collarbone, all kind of stuff, man. She had to have a couple surgeries. She got paid out the ass for that shit, son. Well, not out the ass, but they gave a couple dollars for that shit. That's crazy, dude. Whoa. You broke some shit, bro? What the fuck, dude? Concussion? A coma? What the hell? My man say, I'm just getting out the hospital. Bro, that's wild. Whoa, one of your ribs punctured your lung, bro. God damn, dude. How fast were you going? Dislocated shoulder, broken ribs, broken hand, 3 broken fingers. Phew, bruh. I swear, I don't own a bike. I'm honestly too much of a bitch for that shit. Yeah, that's why I say pad it up, helmet up, man. You know what I'm saying? But then when I'm from South Carolina, bro, we had a bike week down there, Black Bike Week. You know what I'm saying? Labor Day weekend, you be seeing all these cats out there with no gloves, no jacket, not even like the vest, you know, a padded vest, no helmet. And that's what I'm saying. And people don't realize 40 miles an hour is death speed, bro. You can kill yourself at 40. You know what I'm saying? So 35, that's fucking wild, son. Going 35 miles an hour on a bike and someone pulls out, you smack their fucking car. Holy shit, son. Goddamn, the best thing about it though, you still here to tell me about that shit. At least you can tell me about it. You know what I'm saying? And that's something, once again, yo, I don't own no bike, I don't ride no bikes, but when I'm on the highway, yo, I give y'all as much room as I can, bro. Fuck that. Like, I don't want to get too close to no bike. I don't try to cut y'all off or none of that shit, man. Fuck that. That's crazy. Ooh-wee. Hope she got some good insurance. Yeah, like, damn, I can dip and try to go around her, but then I'm gonna be in the front of her car. If I try to dip and go the back way, I'm gonna fucking smack this fucking truck. Just hold tight, motherfucker. Ah! And that's, you know what I'm saying? You contemplated all that long ass equation in like 10,000th of a second. Like, holy shit, I'm about to hit. Just gotta T-bone this bitch. You bitch, you see you ain't had that fucking light. Motherfucker. I thought that shit was funny as hell. But I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm gonna have to check that shit out, bro. Yeah, that's crazy, dude. You had to get, like, they really had to patch you the fuck up, son. Like, that's wild. That's fucking wild as shit. Medic! Medic! Somebody! God damn it. This bitch tried to assassinate me. I think she works with the Russian mafia. Did the lady stay there? She ain't try to do some hit and run shit. That's crazy. Medic! Medic! So, I'm down, bitch! Medic!
That Mr. Corbyn's having a much better campaign than most people expected. I suspect even Mr. Corbyn.
You can laugh at that shit a little bit. I know it's still early and your ass still healing, but goddamn it, once again, bro, you here. And you can tell me about that shit. Make a little joke, goddamn it. Cause you gonna be paid when you get that money. Yo, just, you know what I'm saying? Throw me a couple dollars for a paint. We all can get something out of this. Alright, goddamn, bro. That's some wild shit, man. I just hope you know, heal 100%. Don't have no loss of strength or grip in your hand. You know what I'm saying? Hope you're walking. Don't walk with no limp or none of that shit, man. You blessed, boy. That just a little hurdle. You know what I'm saying? Life just got you real quick. Everyday humdrum like do 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 do. Then life just jumps out like, yeah, bitch, you still alive, motherfucker. It hurts, don't it? Oh, that it hurts to laugh. My bad. That's that life. You letting you know you still alive. I just wanted to see how strong you is. You a tough little motherfucker, huh? Yeah. I'll be back. I'll show you something else again. That's life be fucking with people sometimes, man. You know what I'm saying? Cause and they could have been, and I know you already thought about it. Just like you say, they so many different ways that shit could have went where you wouldn't be here right now. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, a second earlier or a second later or anything. You know what I'm saying? And it could have been a whole different fucking story. So shit. There ain't nothing but life fucking with your ass real quick. Life gotta make sure you enjoy this shit, motherfucker. You enjoy being alive? Yeah, I love it. Alright, prove it then, motherfucker. Boom. Oh shit. I told you I enjoy being alive, bitch. Damn. I gotta go out. Might do some volunteer work this weekend. Shit. Help the kids.
Himself. If you add all that together, I would have thought the media, by and large, is doing its job.
Well, I don't know if I really accept that. I think, of course, the media has had to take the candidate more seriously as the obvious trends have changed. And I would argue that it's people who've organised and shown their support and record youth registration and voting that has come out, and that has forced a kind of change in tone and an attempt to treat this election some way seriously.
Has the media been overwhelmingly biased against Mr. Corbyn?
I think that.
Oh, my pencil's bending. It's made out of rubber. Oh, shit.
The later period, it's tough because if you think of David Cameron or George Osborne, when they were Prime Minister and Chancellor, or Theresa May, do they face the kind of questions Jeremy gets asked about what he was doing 20, 30, 35 years ago? The counter-argument is that goes to questions of political judgment and character in terms of relationships he had and the people he dealt with. I guess my argument, Carla, comes back to this. One of the great strengths of our society is that we have an independent BBC, which isn't owned by billionaires, and actually is trusted because it's always been objective and tough. I think the BBC has been tough on both sides in this election campaign. Quite a lot of Jeremy Corbyn's supporters think the BBC is part of the elite establishment, but I'm not sure that's right.
Do you draw a distinction between the broadcasters and the newspapers?
I think the tone of the newspapers has definitely been much worse. But again, you make a point about Corbyn facing tough questions about 34 years ago. I made a point in the film which still hasn't been addressed. Why the Prime Minister is not facing tough questions about our relationship with a country that today stands widely accused of being a funder of terrorism today. And we'll see how it pans out in the next week. But, you know, the article picked up in the Daily Mail by Peter Oborne broke that suggesting that the Manchester terrorist was not only allowed but facilitated in travelling to Libya to presumably kill people and help overthrow Gaddafi and then let back in the country.
So that issue has been raised by the Daily Mail?
It's been raised by the Daily Mail.
About Mrs. May?
100%, and I'll take that point. Will the Prime Minister be grilled about that in the same manner in which Jeremy Corbyn has been grilled about the IRA question?
What's wrong with grilling the Labour leader about the IRA?
Absolutely nothing.
There isn't.
Absolutely nothing. I'm just asking, right now, in 2017, we have long-standing, multi-billion trade relationships with a country that stands widely accused of terrorism now, today, not 34 years ago. And I'm not seeing the same tone of questioning being taken about something that's happening today. So I'm not suggesting it's, you know, completely disparate. I'm suggesting there's subtle differences that in the end add up to massive differences. When a former politician gets the cover of the Evening Standard to say, Comrade Corbyn flies the red flag, that's adjectives. That's not critique of policy. It's clearly not a Marxist manifesto.
He's been quite tough on Theresa May as well, though.
100%.
I mean, I think the Evening Standard has not exactly been a cheerleader for the Prime Minister.
No, I take the point.
Maybe the newspapers just don't matter as much anymore.
I think they matter slightly less, it's true. I think one of the areas where I disagree, I think you've made some very good points, actually, but is that the media is not a monolith. And nobody is forced to buy or to consume either newspapers or any particular type of media. And it's also the case that there have been alternatives. And on the left, there are sites like The Canary and Squawkbox and so on, which, you know, whatever I might think of them, undeniably have a following. So I think there's a greater degree of pluralism there. And it's clearly the case that amongst some young voters, there's an enthusiasm for Corbyn that's reflected in new media and perhaps less so in the mainstream media. But I do think, and you've been, I think, generous enough to acknowledge this, that there are some tough questions that Jeremy has to face. And you know, if you attend a meeting and call for a minute's silence for the IRA and for terrorists who've been killed, that is a big question. Imagine if Theresa May had called for a minute's silence.
Well, you mean like David Cameron going to King Abdullah's funeral?
Well, there's a big difference between King Abdullah and the IRA. Imagine if a British political figure bidding to be Prime Minister had sought to honour the fascists of the BNP.
But you're flogging a dead horse, because I've admitted that it's legitimate for him to face.
I'm talking about the dead people whom the IRA killed.
What? No, that's
and
not...
the point is, the IRA were an organisation run on the basis of killing innocents and putting British soldiers in the line of fire. And Jeremy Corbyn wants to run this country, wants to lead our armed forces, and he dishonoured them and their memory by calling for a minute's silence for terrorist killers.
As we speak right now, the story has broken, which I want to see in the next week before Thursday, if the Prime Minister is going to be asked the tough questions about possible collaboration between the intelligence services and known terrorist sympathisers who've gone to foreign countries to kill people, who've been let back in Britain and blown up a pop concert and killed 22 people.
What's the evidence for that?
No, I'm just saying that's the story that's broke, so the Prime Minister should be asked the tough questions.
But it's quite hard to ask tough questions if you have... I mean, I wouldn't ask a tough question if I didn't have the evidence to back it up.
It's been published.
I can't just fly a question.
100%, but many media outlets have carried it.
But without evidence.
Well, then they should be sued for libel, should they not, publishing such a sensitive story?
I don't think the security services are going to sue the Daily Mail for libel.
It's not only the Daily Mail, other platforms have carried it. I'm just saying these are tough questions that the Prime Minister also has to be asked. And that we have a relationship with Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia stands widely accused of supporting terrorism, is not disputed.
Is there any evidence that young people are going to come riding to Mr. Corbyn in huge numbers?
Well, the the YouGov organisation and the Times newspaper have taken quite a big punt on the idea that they might with that poll, because clearly the difference between the YouGov poll and ICM, the other pollsters, is the other pollsters are saying if you didn't vote in the last election or in the referendum last year, we're going to assume in the end you won't turn out, whereas YouGov's taking a punt on greater turnout. We know from the numbers that if young people under 30 came out in large numbers, that would be a big swing to Labour.
That would help Labour.
And that is the big, it's a big unknown for this general election.
I know you hope it happens, but what is the evidence that it will happen, do you think? Because I've to say, I've been here many times before.
100%. I'm not sure, and I'm still dubious, and I still am aware that we're quite a conservative country. I'm not myself even particularly a Labour supporter. My politics are probably closer to the Green Party. I've never voted before, as I said in the film.
Are you going to vote this time?
I am going to vote this time because I think that there is enough of a significant difference between this current leadership of the Labour Party and the Tories.
But in the last election, you'd have voted Green, not Labour.
If I had voted, I would have voted Green.
I mean, the media coverage may or may not be biased in the past 4 or 5 weeks, but it's done one thing, this campaign, and it's the media that's largely shown it. It's rumbled Theresa May, hasn't it? It's shown her up to be a pretty second division politician.
Well, considering that I stood in an election against Theresa May and she buried me by a landslide, I think I have to acknowledge that would make me probably a Vauxhall Conference politician.
I don't think we have that anymore, but anyway. Let's stick with third division.
It wasn't actually a vote, Michael. There
wasn't a vote on the numbers.
I mean, has there been a worse Tory campaign in living memory?
Yes, my one for the leadership.
No, election campaign.
No, general election campaign.
Has there been a worse election campaign for the Tories in living memory?
Well, I think the critical thing, Andrew, is that you cannot judge a campaign until the end result. There were all sorts of people who criticised the Leave campaign, for example, and actually it ended up winning. Victory, in the end, will be the confirmation of how well or badly this campaign's been run. And Ed makes the point that the 1987 campaign of the Conservatives had its moments which were portrayed in the media as wobbles. It ended up in a Conservative landslide. Theresa May will increase her majority.
And will victory for Theresa May in this election prove to be as Pyrrhic as victory in the Leave campaign was for you?
I don't think it was Pyrrhic. It's a very good question. But I don't think it was Pyrrhic in the sense that even though the outworkings led to be no longer being in government, I'm glad that Britain's leaving the European Union.
You'll be back in 10 days' time.
I know.
You'll be back in 10 days' time.
Yeah, they stick different parties, they stick together. Do you think not so badly of the media after tonight?
It's not even necessarily that I think terribly of the media, in the sense that I don't believe complete objectivity is even philosophically possible.
That's why you want to diversify.
Right. If I ran a news channel, even if I didn't mean for it to, it would naturally reflect some of my...
Because you choose the agenda and so on.
Precisely. So if you have, which was the point I tried to make in the film, similarly educated people from similar backgrounds running all of the main institutions, even if they don't intend it, the outcome can often be perceived to me.
I think that's one of your strongest points.
Would you exclude this week from your criticisms?
I don't know. We'll see. I'll have to watch a few more episodes.
At least we got one. Mr. Corbyn's got one more voter, and we've got one more viewer.
Cool.
I like it. Thank you very much for being with us.
Yo, yeah, that Watch Dogs, man, I'm back hooked on it. Like, so I had it. Everybody keeps saying, "Oh, you got the game, you got the game." Like, yeah, I had it day one, cause I played Watch Dogs Part 1. I thought it was a good game, yo. That game got a lot of bad critiques and a lot of bad reviews about Watch Dogs 1, but I actually liked it, and I played through the whole thing. I did most of the side quests and everything like that, and so I was actually really excited about Watch Dogs 2. And now they got you playing as a black dude, and I'm like, oh shit, a black cyber hacker in fucking Silicon Valley and shit. I was like all down for that shit. And I got it, and I played it for about 4 or 5 hours, and then put it down. And I don't know, like other games started coming out, and Battlefield 1 came out, and I started playing Battlefield so hard, and then something else came out, and then Ghost Recon came out, and I've been playing Ghost Recon for like a fucking year now. And so now I'm finally like dying down on the Ghost Recon a little bit. Like, you know, the fun factor is still there, but it's like, I played this game for like over 100 hours. And I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna want some single player shit. I never finished all the DLC for Fallout 4, so I think there's like 2 DLC packs on Fallout 4 that I can still play. But I was like, you know what? Let me get back on this Watch Dogs. Man, I put that shit in. I was gonna start from where I was at the last time, but I was like, man, I done forgot all the controls and everything. I was like, fuck it. I just deleted my old save game and started that shit from the beginning. And I've been hooked on that shit for like at least 5 days now. It's probably like in the past 5 days. I think that's like the main game I've been playing. And after I finish painting this right here, I'm going to get back on the game, son. I got a bunch of time off too. I'm just fucking chilling. I already did an ass of shit today though. Like, I got up 5 o'clock, was at the gym at 5:30, came home, did some chores, then got my girl up, went out and had breakfast, came back from breakfast, got down, went to the flea market, walked around the flea market for a little while, then I came back. Now I'm in the studio painting. I did all kind of shit this morning. I'm about to be hungry again, so here shortly I'm gonna take a little break, go fix me something to eat, and get on that Watch Dogs for a couple hours, and then I'll be back up in the studio later on this afternoon. Yeah, I got the Division Part 1. I had that shit day one when it first came out. Man, was so fucking hyped for that game. And I played all of the base game. I never bought any of the DLC for it. But in the beginning it was fun. Until like you started running all these other missions, and then you know those hardcore gamers who don't do shit but fucking game, they then set their fucking loadouts where it take you like 40 fucking clips to kill these motherfuckers. You can't never get their ass down and shit. Like, I don't know, man. That shit wasn't fun after a while. You couldn't kill nobody on that shit, yo. Well, I couldn't, because I ain't gonna invest so much time in there just trying to have a fucking super perfect loadout. I like games where loadouts are kind of automatically balanced, so nobody can't have too much of an advantage over someone else. And that's the thing about games like that random gear shit. That's what got me off of fucking Destiny, because man, you don't know what you fucking gonna get, yo. It's just like some random prizes, and so you and your homeboys do the same damn mission, and everybody get like some platinum shit, and you get some little rinky dink shit. It's like, what the fuck? I already got that gun, dude. Well, why won't they give it to me? Oh, you gotta keep farming for it, man. Fuck this farming, grinding shit. I'm not into that shit, yo. I can't do that shit. But I said that just to say that they're talking about the Division 2. I might give it another shot. I really was so hyped about the graphics. That's where I'm at nowadays with video games, basically. I want them shits to look like movies. Because I'm an artist. Why you still play video games? Because it's interactive art. Somebody had to come up with the color palette, the design, characters, wardrobe, all this shit, lighting, setting, textures. Man, video game art still amazes the fuck out of me. And that's why, well, that's one of the main reasons that still keeps me gaming. Is like, it's amazing the graphics that they can get now in these games. I say the Division was such a pretty looking game, yo. Everything on it looked so nice, and then there were several interiors. That's what I really look for too, like especially with these big giant open world cities and all this shit. It's like, yeah, but how many interiors did you really construct on this shit? And that's one of the things that's kind of lacking in Watch Dogs, really, is like there's not a lot of interiors of buildings. Like, unless you're on missions and stuff, almost every mission you gotta sneak in somewhere. But just like for free roaming, and it's weird, like, I think if I ever design a video game, it'd be like Grand Theft Auto, fucking all that kind of shit, but not so big. Just I'll have that shit like a small town, but have everything fucking rendered. The inside of every fucking building, structure, everything is rendered 100%. You don't need a whole fucking ginormous LA style city. There's lots of shit to look at, but you can't go inside shit. I think I'm gonna work on these lips right here and try to get some highlights on this bottom lip, and then I'll take a little break after that. But then when I come back, I'll still have like from this area on her cheek and down and around her chin and around this area to try to get these shadows underneath her lip to look proper. I'm just trying to focus. Let me throw something on to listen to. Do, 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 do. Yeah. 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 What's up, guys? Oh, shit.
I'm not the same. Can't you see what love and romance have done to me? I'm not the same.
Trap House, how come your music is so jazzy? Arrow. I'm gonna pull the camera back in a second, guys. Let me get this area right here blending in, and I'll drop back on this camera. So in this shadow underneath her lip, I'm using some raw umber and some Mars brown for the darker areas, and as it comes down over her chin, I'm blending it into some Indian red and some permanent orange mixed with a little bit of golden ochre. So here's some more of this Indian red right here. I'm gonna actually pull some of that red down further. Alright, this is there's a little bit lighter red here. Alright, now I'm going to go back into some orange and actually use a little bit of Indian yellow right here. I'm going to bring some of this Indian yellow up here to tie it in on both sides of that shadow. That might be a little bit too light. Add a little bit more brown in there, just for right in this area here. Alright. Oh, this is I don't actually know this young model. I know the photographer. So I'm working with the photographer, and they allow me to use some of their images. So yeah, I get that a lot. Who's the girl? Who's the girl? I don't know. I know the photographer does awesome work. Damn, 200 projects. That's a lot of shit. Yeah, I thought about going through my catalog to actually see how many paintings I've done so far. I've been painting for almost 10 years, yeah. I've done a lot of paintings in 10 years. Damn, since the 50s. That's how I want to be, just a nice long ass life where I can just make art for years and years and years and years. I'm saying I started painting in the early 2000s. It'd be like year 2100. Yeah, there's still a lot more details to go into her shirt and her bow tie. But the face, I'm feeling really comfortable about right now. I may do a little more blending here and there in some areas, but I say I'm feeling really strong about that face right now. Looks good. Yeah, that face is looking nice. Wait till I get finished with it though. I'm trying to get every little detail in there. Yeah, check out the IG page. It's tough. Paintings by the Prince. Alright guys, like I said, I'm about to go grab something to eat. I'm gonna play some video games for a minute. Make sure I turn everything off, turn the speaker off, and plug this shit up so it'll be nice and charged for the next time. Oh, Exile. See if you can get your hands on some Kratom, or some Kratom. Yo, it's a tea. Look it up. It's Kartom, and it's good for pain relief, yo. Oh, it's Kra. My bad. Can't fucking spell. Kratom. Kratom. You can make a tea out of it. Just waiting for the transport. Oh yeah. Yeah, I heard Joe Rogan talk about it, and then there's like this local tea shop. It's a natural botanical and herb tea shop in Reiki Center, and the dude, he sells tea, or you can just buy some raw kratom and just make your own tea at home. So it's pretty good. Got 30 grams of it. You only need about, for me, I need about 3 grams at a time, and it's like but yeah, that's cool. You know about that shit already too. It's some trippy shit, bro. How a cup of tea make you feel like that? It's just tea. I feel you. You gotta know about the plants, man. Like you say, even if you're not all the way there, vegetarian, vegan, raw vegan, it's good to still know about the shit, because I eat a lot of meat too, but I try to keep a lot of fucking healthy vegetables and antioxidants and vitamins and minerals in my system as well. But yeah, let me get up out of here, because I'm hungry now. I'm about to go eat me a salad with some tuna fish on it. Peace.